All right, here we go. We got to do our official picks here of the week. We're a little bit late on it. Once again, I apologize. We could not do the show yesterday, but we're back here. We still got time to put in your bets, time to talk it all through, folks. Once again, no worries. And even we're getting better value. Once again, now that you can, in New York, once again, unfortunately for all the other states that can't bet mobily quite yet, really kind of waiting to the final minutes, waiting up until game day to really make your official picks and your official bets. I think it's kind of the play here now, that you can bet whatever you want. You don't have to drive, 2 hours to put in a bet. You kind of have to work your schedule around it a little bit. But we see the value increasing here, folks. Bangles Titans is now at +4, which is great value if you want to bet the Bengals. So once again, the name of the game is value, folks. It's always going to be value when you're betting, folks. And now that New Yorkers can bet whenever they want, this is truly the gamble. Do I take the value now, or do I wait a little bit for the value to potentially go in my favor? Yes, you can bet the point totals whatever you want, but you lose value because now Bengals +4 is at that classic standard -110, the normal spread lines, where when during the week when you want to buy a half a point or a full point, you're gonna lose value. You're gonna probably go from -110 on the spread line to about maybe -125, 130, 140, -150, and yeah, it's not that much value, but at the end of the day, it is still value, and that's what we're all trying to do here: find the best value. So waiting, it's the name of the game, folks. We know value can disappear instantly, and we know value can kind of appear instantly, but it usually does disappear way more frequently than it appears, okay? But here we go. Let's make our official picks here. We're going to pick every single game here this week. I don't think we're going to do and talk really any prop bets. We'll see what Derrick Henry's rushing yards is. We may do that, but that's probably the only one we do. But without further ado, folks, here we go, making our official picks for the 4 playoff games over the next 2 days, folks. So here we go. First one up is the Bengals at the Titans, folks. Alrighty, like we just said, spread has gone up. Bengals +4, now Titans -4. Oh, and I also want to shout out this. Now it could get truly crazy. Now that betting is becoming more mainstream, more accepted, more states are legalizing mobile betting. I kind of want to take a quick shout out to Nick Wright from Fox Sports. Fox Sports has their own kind of sports book, Fox Sports Bet, something like that. They've got their own kind of sports book overall. And Nick Wright wanted to bet the Titans here, but didn't want to get hit on that half a point hook. Remember, the Titans -3.5. So Nick Wright and Fox, they lowered the spread for 2 hours to 2 hours. The Titans -2.5, so you can get under that kind of field goal hook. So you win by 3. We all know it. You cover the 2.5. So now we're going to get crazy deals, quick boosts, value. Going to have to be glued to Twitter, glued to the app, all that, your betting app, to truly see, hang on, is there going to be great value here? Is somebody going to kind of boost up or boost down the odds like Nick Wright did with Fox Sports Bet? So it's crazy. I love it, folks. I love that. I think that's absolutely fantastic that, the sportsbook are willing to do that, because they obviously set the line like that, because they kind of know, hey, this is kind of that hook, and we can win just based off that hook. So shout out to Fox Bet for doing that. I think it's genius, and it's just unfortunate because now we're going to have to actively be looking out for that. And once again, talking about value, showing up and disappearing just like that. That was just a 2-hour window it was open for, folks. So, man, oh man. All right, but let's get back to this little anecdote there. I thought that was cool. Alrighty, here we go. Back to the matchup here. Bengals +4, Titans -4. Folks, this is the toughest game to bet. The absolute toughest game, because we know this Bengals offense is explosive. They can score. They like to score. They pass the ball. They take their deep shots. They trust Jamar Chase. They trust T. Higgins. And most importantly of all, they trust Joe Burrow, his arm, his accuracy, his decision making. They let that man can sling around the ball however, whenever he wants. So we know the Bengals can score. We've been talking about this Bengals defense being kind of undervalued a little bit, shutting down the Titans in the red zone. But what did we just say when we were watching Derrick Henry highlights today? Titans in the red zone may be the most dangerous team in the NFL. Let me see if I can get up these numbers quickly. They may not be 100% kind of what we're trying to say just because Derrick Henry has been out, because Julio Jones has kind of been in and out here. So I guess we don't need to look up the official numbers. I guess I could try to take a quick look. Red zone touchdown percentage, because I would probably say at full strength they are the best team of scoring a touchdown when they get in the red zone, not having to settle for field goals. So here we go, NFL team red zone scoring percentage, TD only. Alrighty, so let's see where this Titans team ranks, and they are, where are we at? Jeez Louise, Tennessee, Titans. Tennessee, where the heck are they? Number 6. They're at 63% of putting the ball in the end zone when they arrive in the red zone. That's 6th best in the league, folks, and I would say it would probably be number 1 if Derrick Henry was healthy all season long. So this Titans team is deadly in the red zone because there is so much to cover here with Derrick Henry running, obviously, up the middle, off the pitch, off the right side, and then has to reverse all the way to the left side because everything to the right side was covered, and he's still able to run off for 15 yards, reversing field to the left. We've seen that this season. So that's just Derrick Henry. Then we factor in the receivers, A.J. Brown, Julio Jones, both. They can go up and get the ball. One-on-one matchups in the back of the end zone. You take that shot every single time. Back shoulder throws. They can both make those fantastic. Reaching over defenders, jumping over defenders, making spectacular one-handed catches if they need to. So that's, aspect number 2 of scoring in the red zone. Then you bring in Ryan Tannehill to tie it all together. He can run, he can pass, he can bootleg, he can play action, he can read option. So that just adds another element that you have to defend in the red zone. So this Bengals team is truly going to be put to the test in the red zone. We saw them clamp up every single time. They got burned once, but it was still a close throw. Derrick Carr slings it. It's a one-on-one matchup, little kind of a slant route in the middle of the end zone, and that was their one lone touchdown for the Raiders last week. Every other time they got in the red zone, they had to settle for the field goals. I think they ended with 19 points, so 7 minus 19 is 12. 3 goes into 12 4 times, so they had to settle for field goals 4 times when they got kind of close to the end zone. So the Bengals' red zone defense was good, but is it going to be good trying to defend everything on how they can score by the Titans in the red zone? So I truly cannot decide with the +4 or the -4 here. Even with the extra half a point value now, with the Bengals going from +3.5 to +4, I still don't even know if that is great value. But the one thing that I am kind of certain of, folks, is that both of these teams can score the ball. I can see this game playing out 2 ways, folks. The Bengals get out to a hot start, and I mean hot, folks. I mean 14, 17, 21, nothing, midway second quarter, hot start, okay? And if that happens, Titans are going to be playing catch-up all game long, throwing downfield, while the Bengals are still, putting on the score. They do not take their foot off the pedal offensively, folks. So I could see the point total being high that way. Then a standard game probably going Titans score, Bengals score, Titans score, Bengals score. Maybe they both punt. Maybe one team punts, the other score. But overall, a close game. Everybody answering off their scores because we know both of these teams can score. Once again, Bengals letting Joe Burrow sling the ball whenever he wants. This Titans offense, they're made to score however they want. Passing, running, once again. So I think we've only officially taken an over once this season. We usually stay away from the overs and usually just bet the spread line. But for this game, I can't. I got to watch Derrick Henry. Y'all know we love Derrick Henry. I can't actively root against Derrick Henry. That's not really the reason why we're not taking a spread here. But the fact that we could just watch Derrick Henry be great and we can watch Joe Burrow be great and know both of those players are fantastic, best, top 5 of their position. I have to say that just because of Joe Burrow, because Derrick Henry's number 1 of his position. But both, in the top 5 of their positions here. Able to score. Bengals being kind of so aggressive. Titans first playoff game, energetic, had that week by being fresh. We are officially taking the over 47.5 here, folks. We're going to stay away from the spread line because I truly don't know who's going to win this game. I know who's going to win all these other games, folks, okay? And we usually know who's going to win these games here. That's why we never take the over, because we don't have to take the over. But for this one, I feel more confidently taking the over the points than just getting points or swallowing points. So officially taking Bengals Titans over 47.5 points because there is just so much explosibility on the field between these two teams, and they both can get it done. And this Titans team in the red zone, I don't know if the Bengals defense is going to be able to handle that as well as they did against the Raiders last week, and the Raiders still had a chance to win the game at the end of the game. Once again, why I can't really take just 4 points here with the Bengals. This truly could be a touchdown game just because, and at that point, I would like to just take the over. So officially betting the over, I think for only the second or third time officially this season. Bengals over 47.5. Bengals Titans over 47.5. All right. Let's move on to the next matchup here. Once again, we know who's going to win this game. 49ers at the Packers. 49ers plus 5.5. Packers minus 5.5. Folks, and I love the Packers minus 5.5 here. I could definitely see this 100% being a touchdown game. Packers up 7 points. Jimmy Garoppolo with a chance to go and tie the game on a 2-3 minute drive in the fourth quarter to tie the game to go into overtime, but that's where Jimmy Garoppolo may flounder, folks, and may, just come crashing down. We've seen Jimmy Garoppolo be clutch in the regular season, and I think I'm kind of getting this a little distorted, when I think about Jimmy G. Once again, I've kind of admitted a little bit earlier this week that I'm kind of not siding with y'all 100%, but I truly see a little bit more of where y'all are coming from when you call Jimmy Garoppolo not great and not clutch. We saw what he did against the Rams, obviously, to get into the playoffs, week 18. But, that was regular season Jimmy G. Regular season Jimmy G can be clutch. Have we ever seen Jimmy Garoppolo be clutch in the playoffs? They didn't need to be clutch really last week. He wasn't clutch last week, turning the ball over in the second half, all that. That was a playoff game. We all know the Super Bowl 10-point lead and lose it in the fourth quarter. We all know that. Jimmy Garoppolo not being clutch. So we get playoff Jimmy G. It's not good, folks. It's not clutch, anything like that. Now he has to go into Green Bay, where it's going to be cold. Once again, I don't think there's going to be any snow, any precipitation, but it is going to be cold here in Green Bay. Probably affects Jimmy Garoppolo. Once again, Jimmy Garoppolo not being named really kind of, the future starting quarterback here, or just the starting quarterback for this season alone all year long. Once again, Kyle Shanahan up and down. Trey Lance is going to play, but for how long? We don't know. Oh, he's not going to play, but we're going to go with Jimmy G, and we still love Jimmy, but we still love Trey Lance, and that's why we drafted him. But we're not going to play him here, but we're going to play him here, and he started, and he didn't look good, but, then we're still going to make question marks the following week after Trey Lance just started. Oh, who's going to be the starting quarterback? Is Jimmy Garoppolo even good enough to play? Is he going to be out there? Is he healthy enough to be out there? And then we heard from Jimmy G earlier this week saying, yeah, it's always been in the back of my mind here that I'm not going to be the guy. This could be my last game with the 49ers. I know that. I understand that. I was kind of feeling that the entire season. We heard that from him. Then we get, the injuries on Jimmy G. The thumb injury obviously is going to be a little, banged up here going into cold Green Bay. So that's going to affect Jimmy Garoppolo throwing. And then the non-throwing shoulder injury that he just sustained. We saw Baker Mayfield with the non-throwing arm shoulder injury, and that man was garbage all year long. So I get Aaron Rodgers coming fresh off of a bye. 49ers just barely escaping Dallas in almost a complete second half collapse offensively. Jimmy Garoppolo missing throws. We watched him in our film study, and he was a big reason why the 49ers lost it in the second half here. So I get the Packers minus 5.5. The only kind of knock that we have on this Packers team, which, once again, we can maybe turn into a positive a little bit, is that the Packers don't blow out any teams. We see them kind of, even against the Steelers, they took it down to the nitty gritty, all, competitive game all throughout. We've seen that by the Packers all season long. They don't blow out the teams. So this is probably going to be like a one possession win, regardless of what Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers do all game long, whether Jimmy Garoppolo is playing flawlessly, whether Jimmy Garoppolo is playing the worst football we've ever witnessed this man play in his NFL career. Regardless, it's probably going to come down to that last possession by the 49ers in the fourth quarter. So I see the Packers winning by 7 here. We talked about that when we predicted the line here. We really just wanted anything under 6.5 here. I didn't care if it was 6.5, 6, 5.5, whatever it was, 5, 4. I didn't think it was going to be that low. But as long as it was under 7, we were going to give the green light to bet the Packers, and that's exactly what we're doing. Packers minus 5.5. Aaron Rodgers fresh. Aaron Rodgers trying to get back, trying to get back to the Super Bowl. Has to get back to the championship game first, and then try to, finally pull it out in the clutch. We'll see if he can do that. But we're not there quite yet, folks. We're still divisional round. 49ers and the Packers, they do have history together. I think Aaron Rodgers is 0-3 over the 49 against the 49ers in the playoffs, so obviously that's going to play a factor. How much? We'll see. But at the end of the day, I trust Aaron Rodgers 1,000% more than I trust Jimmy Garoppolo here. And another, how we're going to try to turn that Green Bay knock of not blowing out any team and turn that into a little bit of a positive would be that this Packers team, they know the fight. They know the grit that takes to win a game, a close game. They've never blown anybody out, so they know how to win close games, and that is a huge factor in team building, bringing a team together, winning games, trying to win the ring. You must be able to win in different scenarios. How you're able to handle a blowout win. How you're able to handle a close game. And this Packers team, they know close games. They know how to win close. And for that, another reason why we love the Packers minus 5.5. They get a 7-point lead. I believe they will be able to hang on to that 7-point lead for the entirety of the game here. Never give it up. We'll swallow the 5.5 here for the Packers and love doing so. The biggest spread of the weekend, folks, and we're swallowing the points, okay? We're feeling confident. Packers minus 5.5. Alrighty, those are the 2 games today, but we know there's 2 more games on tomorrow. So here we go. Let's continue on here. Tomorrow, Rams at the Bucks, and wow, we're getting good value here. I believe this line has dropped a 0.5 point, but it's because y'all are betting what are y'all betting? It went down a 0.5 point here. But the Rams are plus 2.5 at plus 100 on the spread. So that's kind of showing that everybody's swallowing the 2.5 here for the Bucks, thinking that they win. But I'm going to go the other way, and I'm going to take the Rams plus 2.5. And once again, going back to, finding value whenever you can, getting the Rams on the spread line at plus 100, that's fantastic value, I would say, folks. And you would probably even be able to bet it up to Rams plus 3 and only kind of be at like minus 110. Let's see if we can actually do that quickly, because that would even, really not lose any value at that point, because it's just kind of normal spread line, which you would expect to get odds if you were just betting the regular spread. So Rams plus 3, what is this at? Rams, you got to do plus 3.5. Can't do the plus 3. So plus 3.5 is minus 140. Plus 3 probably would have been around minus 120-ish. So once again, losing a little bit of value from the normal minus 110 spread line. So back to this though. We get Rams plus 2.5 here. That is what we are going with for this game. Rams plus 2.5. I like Matthew Stafford. I love Sean McVay not putting it all on Matthew Stafford to win their game last week. They mixed in the running game very heavily. Sony Michel was getting it done. We had Cam Akers getting it done. Fantastic. I believe they both had about 13 rushes themselves. So running back by committee. balanced run and passing attack, and Sean McVay just being smart, getting OBJ involved. He's all good to go. Nobody was once again able to really shut down Cooper Kupp, able to make some big time plays when he needed to make them. And this defense of the Rams, I really think, is going to be the thing that ties everything together of a dominant win. I think this could be like a 10-point win here for the Rams, folks. I know it may be a little crazy to say, but I kind of see that's how that's going because of the Rams defense. Obviously, we got Jalen Ramsey, and we got Aaron Donald coming off the line, and this is why the Rams defense is going to be able to tie it all together. Going back to last week, folks, wild card weekend for the Bucs and the Eagles. Bucs got out to a 17-0 lead. That was fantastic by them. But then what happened? We talked about it in our film study, folks. The Eagles had a chance to come back if they were able to put it together offensively, because the Eagles defense was getting pressure on Brady, knocking Brady down. The offensive linemen were getting knocked out of the game. Like 2 offensive linemen got a little banged up for the game. So the Bucs offensive lineman is going to be a little knocked up, a little banged up here, giving Aaron Donald the clear to bully anybody that they put on him, double team, triple team. He's going to probably be able to, get some decent pressure on Brady. And once again, that going back to that 17-0 lead, there was about like a four offensive drives by the Eagles to get any points on any of those 4 drives to try to chip away at that 17-0 deficit. If the Rams were in the same predicament, down 17-0 because the defense was starting to get the pressure on Tom Brady and the Bucs weren't able to move the ball offensively, I trust Matthew Stafford to take advantage of those great defensive series by the Rams, forcing 3 and outs by Tom Brady and the Bucs, and Matthew Stafford in the running game getting points during that stretch. I don't even think they get down 17-0, but if they did, I would feel comfortable of the Rams trying to get back in the game on what we saw last week. And then the second aspect, folks, talking about Jalen Ramsey and locking down, the wide receivers. We saw Mike Evans. Obviously, we know no Antonio Brown, so we know they lost a little bit of depth there. Scotty Miller, not even really a big part of the offense last week. Really just relying on Mike Evans to get it to go. And we weren't super impressed by Mike Evans. It was a lot of screen game. It was a lot of Tom Brady getting the ball out of his hands to Mike Evans on wide receiver screens, and they never really broke big. We never really saw Tom Brady and Mike Evans connecting on that deep ball, contested one-on-one matchup down the field. We saw Mike Evans get open down the field, but never kind of like a big-time bomb, a big-time shot play. I think the biggest was maybe like 30 yards, and it was good. It was Mike Evans burning the corner. I get it. But is he going to be able to burn Jalen Ramsey? But I just did not love going to Mike Evans over and over and over and over and over again on those screenplays. So Rams at the line of scrimmage, pressing Mike Evans, able to blow it all up here, potentially here for the Bucs. Now, there is a little bit of not great news for the Bucs as well. Bucs ruled out running back Ronald Jones and wide receiver Brashad Perryman. We know Brashad Perryman was never a big impact on this offense, but now losing AB and needing to kind of look at their other receivers here, it's still a little unfortunate here for this Bucs team overall. Leonard Fournette has to be activated off of IR tomorrow to play, and that's seeming like it's going to be the case that he does get activated off of IR. It does seem like he is going to play, so they are going to have Leonard Fournette back. And is it snowing in Green Bay? Oh, man, that is snowing, so I was wrong. What do we got? 10-degree temp, feels like -1, wind is 7 miles an hour, and there is some snow on the field, but they'll probably take off the protective covering on it and may look good to go. So, all right. Snow currently in Green Bay, but that's really not going to affect our decision overall. It kind of helps the Packers if there's snow, because I'm not trusting Jimmy G from San Francisco to get it done in the snow. So we still keep our Packers -5.5. Back to the Rams +2.5. Bucs still once again shorthanded offensively. Defense a little bit shorthanded. Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay catching their stride here last week offensively, and everything was working out for them. So we get 2.5 here for the Rams. Loving it at +100. Great odds. We love it. We take it. We secure it. Rams +2.5, folks. That's our pick. Alrighty, and then the last playoff game of the weekend, folks, and this is a game that contains the Super Bowl champions, all right? Did y'all listen to the show a little bit earlier this week when we declared our Super Bowl champions based on what we saw on Wild Card Weekend? The Bills are winning the Super Bowl, and they will be able to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, folks. This Bills offense playing that flawless game last week. Josh Allen slinging the ball around, running the ball around, getting it done in the red zone every single time, never having to settle for a field goal, folks. Fantastic. And the biggest thing that stuck to us, folks, from that game was the aggressiveness by Sean McDermott and Brian Daboll, folks. Yes, Brian Daboll, I get it, folks, okay? Brian Daboll getting it done, aggressive. We have not seen this by the Bills all last season. They were never aggressive in the playoffs, even wild card round when they had to face Phillip Rivers and the Colts. That should have been a dominant win because the defense should have been able to lock up or they did lock up Phillip Rivers all game long, but the offense still only put up like 27? Would they win like 27, 24, 24, 21, something around those lines? Just a little bit light on what the Bills have been doing all last season, all this season, putting up 35 plus points almost every single game, getting it done. Offense, being aggressive, pushing the ball down the field. We've seen that time and time again over the last 2 years in the regular season, and they started to clam up last year in the playoffs. They didn't clam up this year, game one in the playoffs, and I feel like they're just going to continue to get better offensively and never resort back to being conservative. Now, the Bills and the Chiefs already faced this season in Kansas City, and the Bills won it in pretty dominant fashion. They kind of handled their own there. And they've got to do they get the chance to be able to do the same when it really matters a little bit more. Now they're in the playoffs. That was like week 4, 5, 6, somewhere around there, a little bit earlier on in the regular season. But Bills plus 1.5 here. Take the Bills on the money line. Swallow 2.5. Doesn't matter. They will win this game here. The defense, once again, going back to last week, Bills and the Patriots. I mean, Mac Jones was this close of tying up the game. It was a really good throw. Not great, like we said. Still a really, really good, aggressive throw by Mac Jones. But Micah Hyde coming and intercepting the ball single-handedly won the game by their defense. And this Chiefs team, offensively, they're going to be, a little exposed. We already have the blueprint to beat Patrick Mahomes. Pressure him, make him run all over the field. Do not let this man be comfortable in the pocket, and do not let this man be able to run out of, bad plays, bootlegging out to the right or the left, keeping him contained and making him run all over the field. We know the blueprint last year from the Super Bowl. Does Josh Allen really have a blueprint on how to stop him? Because he's the only one doing anything really offensively. They got a little bit, decent running game last week against the Patriots. We've kind of seen it be okay. Maybe the last 3 or 4 games, the running game has been solid. Nothing great, nothing really bad. It's just been really solid. But, is there a blueprint on how to stop this Bills team? They sling the ball around. It's not like if you just pressure Josh Allen, he flounders big time. We see this man escaping out of the pocket, running better than Patrick Mahomes can. I think Josh Allen is the best dual threat quarterback in the league, folks. Better than Patrick Mahomes, better than Kyler Murray, better than Lamar Jackson is Josh Allen. Who would have thought, really, who would have freaking thought that, a year ago? Even last year, I didn't think Josh Allen was a better dual threat quarterback than any of those guys. But now this season, we've been telling y'all we want to see the Bills run more. I was on a podcast earlier this season on Wednesdays with Wheels. Check him out. He's on Facebook. Wednesdays with Wheels, talking the Buffalo Bills. And I was telling him, I was showing plays, hey, Josh Allen's got to run here. We need to see more Josh Allen running. And this was probably around weeks 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe around there, a little bit earlier on in the regular season. And here they are, running Josh Allen, winning games, looking fantastic while doing so. The dual threat ability of Josh Allen, the fantastic defense of the Bills here. This Chiefs offense still, we know this Chiefs offense, obviously, Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid. I mean, they've been together the last, 4 years, always fantastic. But this year seems a little bit Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce a little bit banged up. We haven't really seen that by him. All those kind of drop passes by Tyreek Hill that led to interceptions early on in the season, they have kind of cleaned that up in the back end of the season. But it just, the offense doesn't seem as fantastic as it has been, right? Is that just because we're used to it now, or are we truly seeing a drop-off in production overall? I don't know 100%. All I know is that I love this Bills offense better than what I've seen by this Chiefs offense all year long. They finally got everything that we were worried about by the Bills. They took care of that last week against the Patriots in the playoffs, and for that, we're taking the Bills. We think they win the Super Bowl hands down, no problem against any team here. They can beat the Packers, they can beat the the Rams. They can beat the Bucs. They can obviously beat the 49ers. Derrick Henry next week is going to be the challenge because we saw Derrick Henry kind of be the difference maker in their 34-31 loss over the Titans a little bit early on in the season. So maybe you don't want to face the Titans, but overall, I think they'd be able to win that second meeting. But it is in Tennessee, so once again, a little tough there for the Bills. Regardless, they make it out of Kansas City here with a win. Love the Bills' offense being aggressive, folks. That's really the big thing that makes me feel so confident on the Bills. They're aggressive in their offense, and you have to be aggressive in the playoffs. You must be aggressive. You know what happens if you're not aggressive? You're allowed to throw 3 interceptions in a championship game and still win the game because Aaron Rodgers and the Packers weren't aggressive. Matt LaFleur kicking the field goal, even having Aaron Rodgers in the red zone. You must be aggressive here, and the Bills are aggressive, and for that aggressiveness, Bills plus 1.5 is our pick. So all of our picks one more time for this divisional round matchups all week long. We're taking the Bengals and the Titans over 47.5, Packers minus 5.5, Rams plus 2.5, and the Bills plus 1.5. Little nice 4-teamer plus 1291 odds. So if you put $100 on it, you're walking away with $1391, a nice $1,200 profit, folks. That's pretty good for just watching football. I'll take that. You pay me $1,200 to watch 4 games of football. I'll take that, and that's exactly how you do it. Sit back, relax. 4-teamer right here that we are feeling absolutely perfect on, folks. Loving it. One last time. Bengals, Titans over 47.5. Packers minus 5.5. Rams plus 2.5. Bills plus 1.5. Bet it on the money line at plus 100 odds, and I would even endorse it all the way up to Bills minus 2.5 just because of a win. You know what I mean? Field goal win, probably. Closer game. I don't think this Bills team is going to blow them out, but I could definitely see like a 3 to 10 point win for the Bills. Absolutely. So I would endorse it all the way up to Bills minus 2.5, where the value is at plus 125. So, you know, it's not any great value. It's not like, oh my God, it's like life-changing odds right here of just swallowing 2.5. So just take the 1.5 there at plus or at minus 110. Alrighty, let's quickly see. I want to see what the prop bet is for Derrick Henry rushing yards. Let's see, are they going to kind of stick it to us and making it high, or are they going to give us a little bit of play with his first game back, maybe only doing like 60? I'll take over like 65. I'll do 65 rushing yards with Derrick Henry, no problem. Anything over that, we may have to talk about it and discuss a tad. So let's do rushing props. Derrick Henry, ooh, they're making us work for it. Damn, they're making us work for it. All right, we respect it, Vegas. We definitely respect the line being this high. We just don't get the great value now. But the rushing yards for Derrick Henry over 85.5. Don't get me wrong, I love Derrick Henry first game back, though. Is he going to be able to do that 100-yard performance that we've seen multiple times this season? Most likely, folks. So we'll stay away from Derrick Henry over 85.5 rushing yards. I know that's a little blasphemous for us to say that, and disrespect the king. But, we don't need to push anything. We've got 4 solid picks here. We don't need to push anything. So just sticking with our 4 official picks of these games. Alrighty, those are our official picks. I just want to quickly run down the what the machines say about our picks. Our favorite video to watch, win probability score projections that NFL puts out on a weekly basis. So we have to sit through this 20-second ad here because I had to take ad blocker off because the NFL.com website is so trash. Y'all know how we feel about the NFL.com website and Game Pass and all that. It's trash. So let's play the game by NFL and watch their dumb ad for whatever this product is. Worthy. I don't even know what the heck it is. Worthy Jewelry. Sell your diamond jewelry on Worthy. Go do that so we can finally see what they're talking about here scoring wise. Alrighty, so here we go. First game up. They're talking Bills at the Chiefs. Now we took the Bills to win this game, but the 1.5, and they put it right on the spread line, basically. They say the Bills lose 27-26, but we get the 1.5 there, so, we probably hit. But I think the Bills win regardless anyway, so we're not really kind of agreeing with the machines. I think the Bills can win outright, no problem. So not really agreeing with the machines there. Then the next game up is the Rams at the Bucs, and we took the Rams. I think the Rams win straight up. We'll take the 2.5 just for some added value, a little bit of added extra safety security there. So we're going to take the Rams. I think they win outright. We get 2.5 there. They say the Bucks win by 4, 27-23. I don't agree, folks. So far, me and the machines disagreeing on the first two matchups. Alrighty, next one up is the Bangles at the Titans, and we took this one over 47.5, and they say this game is at 49 points. Alright, fine, the machines agreeing with us. They say it's a close game here, so if you agree with the machines, if you agreed with the machines on these last two games that we just discussed, and you're a little bit of a machine lover out there, you fall for the machines, you fancy the machines, the Bengals +4 is looking like fantastic value, saying the Titans only win by 1, 25-24. Regardless, it goes over the 47.5. Derrick Henry gets the win. I'd be okay with that outcome. Absolutely. I would love to see Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase in the AFC Championship game as well. I mean, this is going to be, we're kind of happy with either result. I think I'm going a little bit more for the King here, but we'll see what happens in this game, and we're taking the over. Machines agree with the over. And then the final game, we get Packers at the 49ers at the Packers, and they say the Packers win by 7, exactly what we're saying. Packers never really win by 2 possessions. This is probably going to be a touchdown game. We called the touchdown game last week. We said Raiders at the Bengals was going to be, a 7-point game. So we were fine swallowing, was it 4.5, 5.5 with the Bengals, because once again, it was under 7 and it's going to be a touchdown game. There was a touchdown game. I believe this game is also a touchdown game at 5.5. So taking the 49ers plus 5.5, I really don't think is good value unless you think the 49ers are really going to just win outright, because I don't think it's going to be a 3-point game. I'm almost 100% sure the machines agree with us that it is going to be a 7-point game. So, all right, 2 for 2 on the machines, agreeing with us, 2 for 2 there. 2 agrees, 2 disagrees. Alrighty, I think I'm going to get them all right. Machines, I think they're going to be hitting 50% while we are hitting 100. Alrighty, that is all we had to do of talking about the bets, but I got to get in